top 10 hottest comics of the week based off of Cover Price's data. That's right, we're talking data each and every week. Cover Price reveals their top 10 hottest comics of the week on a Monday. Our show is live on a Friday. What we do is we like to dive in, talk about the top 10 hottest comics based off of sales price. Again, data, not speculation. And from there, Chris takes his 3 most interesting picks from that list, and he dives a little bit deeper. So, Chris, we're just going to get started here with the top 10 hottest comics of the week. You cool with it? Good. Because here we go. What we got here is, at number 10, we have Incredible Hulk, number 449, first appearance of the Thunderbolts. This has been a book that has always done well, I feel like, even before like the MCU has blown up. But now, with everybody speculating Zemo and Thunderbolt Ross and all that stuff, there's some merit to this. And the speculation, I feel like this is intelligent speculation, if you want to put it that way. So, I feel like the train has left the station on this book as well. It's a hard one to pick up at a decent price, but keep an eye on it. All right, at number 9, we have Astonishing X-Men number 6, the first full appearance of Abigail Brand. We saw, I think it was Flap. I can't remember who sent it in, but one of our audience members sent it in. Iron Fist, the Living Weapon, number 1, the first appearance of Pei. Now, there's a lot of speculation going on based on the Shang-Chi trailer with there's a character there that had the same colors as Iron Fist, and people are speculating that is an old school Iron Fist from back in the day, and people are speculating it's Pei. Number 7, Captain America, number 25. I mean, at this point, you should all know what's going on. I'm going to say it. Sam Wilson is Captain America in the MCU, and this is the first appearance of Sam Wilson as Captain America in the comic books. Number 6 is Marvel Comics presents number 72, The Origin of Wolverine. Another one fresh from the comic shop. This is just a classic issue. Barry Windsor Smith crushed it. Nightwing, number 79, the first appearance of Heartless. This Nightwing series is pretty good. It took a lot of people by surprise, so people are going after it hard. Batman Fortnite 0.1, number 1. The Donald Mustard variant is number 4. Batman Fortnite 0.1. The Kenneth Roca Fort is number 3. These are going for, people are seeking these out because not only comic book collectors, but Fortnite collectors, because there is a code in there to get a skin on Fortnite. Number 2 is Convergence Superman, number 2, the first appearance of Jonathan Kent, a.k.a. Superboy. And at number 1, we have Batman Fortnite 0. Number 1. This is an interesting list, Chris. It really, really is. But we're not going to talk about all 10 of them. You're going to talk about 3 of them. So why don't we just get started? What are your 3 most interesting picks? Let's just do it.
Yeah, very diverse list for other reasons than usual. Not diverse because it's a whole bunch of different independent companies and whatnot. Diverse because of really the contents of the books and why they're hot. Let's just start with my number 3 here. I had to go with Marvel Comics Presents number 72, telling the origin of Wolverine, the Weapon X backstory. I briefly talked about this earlier in the show when I was talking about how we're moving along in life, in time. And every era of comic books, when you talk about the boom and how healthy the market is right now, and, people getting priced out of the Silver Age keys and now Bronze Age keys, people are getting priced out of that. And you got books from the Copper Age, the 80s going into the 90s that are gaining steam, and there's a lot of naysayers out there that sit and say, these books have there's no reason for these books to have this kind of value or to be worth this much, and it's not true, because we're moving ahead, and everything that's behind us is getting farther behind us, and it's a cyclical cycle within this hobby, and it speaks to the health of this hobby, and it speaks to the passion of collectors, and we want these books. This is I believe this book came out in this issue specifically, I believe came out in 1990. And high CGC 9.8 last week sold for $675.
Damn.
$675. So again, 90s books can't be worth money. That's not true. Now, look, we know that there's been a lot of rumors out there, saying, the MCU is going to bring in Wolverine, bringing him on the whole Weapon X story and telling his backstory and all this stuff. Maybe there's going to be a Weapon X TV series and all this stuff. And I don't believe any of that that's going on out there. I don't believe we know anything for a fact of Wolverine in the MCU. But look, what I'm trying to say is, sure, maybe all this rumor and speculation continues to drive this book up, but it's just another book that I feel is getting looked at because the comic book hobby is evolving so much. And we as collectors right now aren't just looking at Silver Age or Bronze Age books. We're going all over the place. And a lot of books that didn't get a lot of attention before are now gaining attention, and rightfully so, for whatever reason. Spec value, a first appearance that went overlooked for so long. This is a great one because, for one, Wolverine is a character himself. All of his books are continuing to grow up. And I do want to bring this up real quick. Over a year ago, I said Wolverine #1, the Frank Miller Volume 1 limited series. I said at that point in time, 9.8 was going for about 250. I said, watch. This character's heating up. We recently got the contract for Fox to come over to the MCU. I said, give this book a few months. It's going to double in price. It's going to hit 500. Remember? And it wasn't that you just, no, maybe it was someone in a chat, or I don't know. I think it might have been someone in the chat that on one of our shows that said, yo, you just said that like last week. And look, the 9.8 high sold for $500. Now a 9.6 is hitting that $500 mark. Mm-hmm. So you look at next best things. Wolverine's origin story, the Weapon X story. It's just,
yeah.
I'm sorry. 1990, 1970, 1980, whatever. This book has, going back to my conversation with Swagglehaus on my channel earlier, the intrinsic value in this book is there, and that will essentially continue to drive the value of this book up.
Yeah, Peak Heel, I agree with you there. I think Chris does too. Always thought Marvel Comics Present was undervalued. Here's the deal, like, and Drew says it great here, public service announcement. If you haven't read the Weapon X arc, pick it up and trade and give it a read. One of the best Marvel stories of the 80s. It absolutely is. And up until that point, you didn't know what Wolverine's origin was. And it was just so well done. A thing that stuck out for me the most was the Barry Windsor Smith art. Just gorgeous. And again, a 12-issue arc. Absolutely. You guys all need to check it out. You absolutely need to check it out. And they took some of those things and put them into the Fox X-Men universe. I think Days of Future Past, there was a moment, so there's a lot that has been there. And yes, Barry Windsor Smith equals fire. But you know what else is fire is your second pick of the week. Although your second pick of the week is getting a lot of questionable remarks here, and I'm gonna pull those up as you talk about it. What do you got?
Interesting. Okay.
They don't know that. By the way, they don't know that you picked this. So
right. I can get some water here.
All right. I can't wait to bring these up. All right,
here we go.
All right.
I like this. I don't know what anyone else thinks. I like this. This book had two variants in the main cover A. My number 2, Batman Fortnite, 0 point. Number 1. Look, this is a brilliant move, in my humble opinion. Jeff and I have been talking constantly. We talked about it earlier today about the executives at DC not knowing what they're doing. Everything that's going on with Warner Brothers and their live action properties in the DCEU. I get it. I'm right there. But I've been one that has been sitting here. I've been like a minority that's been sitting here saying on the comic book end, everything that they're doing, I understood. I say, this is a business move. This is a business move that so many people don't understand right now. And it's going to push them forward in a positive direction. Now, this right here speaks to that from one perspective, marketing to a different audience base. So we know that this is a Batman Fortnite mashup. Fortnite is huge among kids and teenagers, obviously. It's a huge moneymaker, a huge money grab. One thing that this book has is the you get free Fortnite skins. And for those that don't know anything about the video game Fortnite, you buy skins. right? Skins can give you, it gives your character, like you can dress them up differently. Like they have Marvel skins to where you can be like Thanos. I'm assuming with these, you're going to have DC skins so you could be these DC characters in the video game. Big money grab for the video game companies because they charge you for all these things. You get these things for free when you buy the comic book. Great marketing move, in my humble opinion, by DC to say, hey, let's team up with Fortnite. You got to buy the comic book to get the free skin code. Then you go back, put the code in, play the video game and with the free skin, and boom. So it's just another way, in my opinion, that DC is looking at how do we get new readers to come into the hobby. Now, you might get people that might go buy the book just for the code and might not even read the book. But hey, look, you can't expect everyone to pick it up and read it and enjoy it and whatnot. But still, it's a great way to diversify your audience. I just want to put this out there to a high for $52. So, look, speculators are looking at it too. I'm sure people are saying, oh, this might be something I can flip. Will it be something you could flip in the long run? I don't know about that. But the bottom line, I like the idea of trying to think outside of the box.
I agree with you 100% to bring new readers in. Yes. But if you're looking for it as a spec pick, terrible idea. Drew says it best. Can we all agree that the Fortnite book is going to be 50-cent fodder as soon as the skin or exclusive is released to the public? Yes, we can. But right now, the Fortnite books definitely seem hot in my local comic shop. That's Swagglehaus. There's, Bearded One. The Fortnite stuff is such a little kid cash grab from DC. I'm so glad my son is too young to know about. But it's going to bring new eyes in here, Bearded One. It's going to bring new eyes in. So, there's a lot of mixed things. There's a lot of mixed. Again, I'm not going to go through everything here, but there's a lot of mixed opinions about this. But at the end of the day, again, if we're talking about growing this hobby, which it's done a pretty damn good job over the past year, it's doing the right thing. I think they're taking a chance. And by the way, it seems to be successful because they got second and third prints of this as well. So. We're not putting you on blast, Bearded One. We're just saying, it's just you have a differing opinion than I have. I think it's. I don't think it is a cash grab. Yes, yeah, they also want to grow their reader base. So, I'm not putting you on blast. I'm just showing a different opinion because that's what we're about here: a variety of different opinions and backgrounds and all that stuff. So, I appreciate your opinion.
I want to say too because, it is a cash grab, but why is that a bad thing? A company is in business to make money. A company is in business to profit. That it's that simple. It's a cash grab, but it's a cash grab that could get young readers into comic books. And at the end of the day, that's a beautiful thing. So let these companies run their business in order to be able to make money while producing a product that could get young kids into books, reading comic books, enjoying superheroes and enjoying the things that we love. And then it's working. That's when the hobby in the industry is working, and I'm all for that.
And Bearded One says it best right here. Y'all are right. I don't want DC to fold, and they need new readers. They need help. They need something. They need Oh, this is a good idea too from Drew. Here's a crazy new marketing idea for comic book publishers. Run an advertisement for your comics in front of your multi-million-dollar blockbusters. I mean. That seems like a no-brainer, and yet, no, they don't. Oh, DC. All right, moving on, Chris. This is your third and final book of the week. What is the third most interesting book? Your third pick of the week of one of the most interesting books from this list. What do you got?
This was fun. And we know that the Batman Fortnite cover A was #1 in the top 10. But my #1 was #2 in the top 10, and that is Convergence Superman #2. Why did I pick this? Why? Okay. Let me run some numbers by you all before I answer my own question. This book saw a 1,284% increase in sales. You didn't hear me wrong. 1,284% increase in sales. Why? Because his book wasn't selling at all. Okay. It had a high CGC 9.8 of $175. Now, that's not, you may say, well, that's not crazy for a 9.8. Let me break something down. Let me break something down for you guys. For anybody that was collecting comics in 2016, knew that comic book shops couldn't throw these at you. They couldn't pay you to pick these comic books up. They couldn't give you these. You know what? A year ago, when there was no toilet paper in the grocery stores and Costco, DC couldn't give you these comic books to use for toilet paper. That's how it's hilarious. Like, I'm going to tell you something. What's so funny? What's so funny? I got to give a big shout out to a local shop. Boys of Summer. Boys of Summer, really a small little shop, does sports cards and comic books. I would go there. I used to take my son into town to get his to see the doctor every week. And we would stop by there. We would stop by Boys of Summer, and I would always raid the 50-cent bins. And Kevin, the owner of Boys of Summer, was always good at putting some really cool stuff in the 50-cent bins. You know, mostly newer stuff, you know, but you know, I bought a lot of newer DC and Marvel stuff out there that I wasn't going to pay $3.99 for when it first came out. You know, maybe they're a couple months old. Maybe they have a ding or something. They came dinged up from Diamond. I raided those 50-cent boxes for years. I haven't been there too much since the pandemic. I've only been there once, actually. So I don't know what the boxes look like right now. But from 2016 to 2020, it's 5 years, right? Almost. He continuously replenished these 50-cent boxes. But do you know which ones never left? The Convergence issues. And I'm telling you, this issue was in there. And you know what was funny? I even talked to him one day. I said, you ever think about starting a quarter bin and moving the Convergence issues over to a quarter bin to see if they'll sell then? Oh my gosh. So funny story. I have 3 copies of this book. I have 2 of the cover A and 1 of the cover Bs. And guess where I bought them? In Kevin's 50-cent bin over at Boys of Summer. So look, this is the silver lining in all this, and why I think this is cool though. This book isn't here on this top on my #1 list because of movie spec like White Vision, right? This book is here because of a comic book. This book is here because this book, and I did say this earlier, but this book is the first appearance of Jonathan Kent, Superman's son, who's Superboy. Jonathan Kent is getting his own series, Superman, Son of Kal-El. And that's what pushed this book up to have eyes on it and to see this demand. That to me is awesome. Why? Because I'm going to go back to things that I say all the just sitting as much as the MCU and these properties are bringing new people in who people don't read comic books. And I'm a beating a dead horse. I'm beating my leg, actually. That's what I'm really beating here. But the point of it is, no matter what I'm beating on, man, this is a comic book that's driving this book that nobody was even buying just a few months ago. That makes me happy, and I think it's really interesting and really awesome to see that. And that's why I said this $175 and to see CGC 9.8. That's a jump. That's a solid price for a book that you literally could not sell in the 50-cent bin just a few months ago. So that's why this book's my #1.
Yeah, it shows the health of the market. Let's put it that way. Like this is not DCEU spec. This is not. I mean, CW spec doesn't do too well. This is speculating off of comic books, right? And that shows the health. And you could be for or against speculating, whatever, but it shows health of the market because people are interested in this character for a shitty book, right? That they're willing to go digging for and pay a premium for, because Superboy will be getting a new series coming out. I think that's great. I see a lot of people that are trashing Convergence, and rightly so. You even said it, Chris. It was garbage, but I'm happy to see a garbage book that people are interested in getting because there's a first appearance of a character. I think, I didn't read this book, but I'm assuming this is when he was born. So he's just a baby too. That's another thing. So anyways, I'm good with this. I'm totally good with this. So yeah, more power, again, it gives people, it's empowering for people to be able to find these books, get these first appearances of characters that are going to be in another comic book, that they're going to get their own series. Again, majority of the stuff that you see kind of blow up are things that are on your in a movie theater on a big screen. This is great, and I'm really happy about this. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it, man. That's why I said very diverse picks this week for different reasons, and that's awesome. I just had to pick up the pencil for Planet Arizona because he was concerned that I was raging. He didn't want me to hurt myself with my pencil.
I see some interesting comics, but here's the deal. I had a thought and I forgot it. But this is our 50th episode. I don't care. I can forget about things, and you guys will still love me, I hope. But that there ends the top 10 hottest comics of the week. It'll be an interesting and new list next week. And Chris will be dissecting another 3 issues that he thinks are the most interesting. Chris, you do a fantastic job, and I thank you for that.